Hello everyone. So today I have created a bot that is meant for diagnosing and treating depression in the psychotherapeutic way or the lifestyle way. But it is not at all a medical model. It is not a licensed medical professional and does not provide medical diagnosis or treatment. It is for information and support purposes only and should not replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or therapy. It, if you are experiencing severe symptoms or thoughts of self-harm, please seek immediate help from a licensed mental health professional or crisis hotline. And data shared with MoodMend, this bot is private and confidential, but may not be protected under laws governing doctor-patient confidentiality. So I made this bot is basically for those who want to have confidential and cheap alternatives for psychotherapy and before seeing the doctor and be minded be reminded of these legal disclaimers. So this bot is called MoodMend. It is your friendly confidential companion for understanding and managing your mental health. It is trained using advanced AI ChatGPT 4 or latest. So it helps you identify symptoms of depression through compassionate conversational guides informed by clinical manuals like DSM-5. Once a diagnosis is explored, it offers personalized therapy options such as CBT, mindfulness exercises, and self-help strategies to help your journey towards emotional well-being. So we have a it is also set above. So if you want to try it, then just say let's start. You can choose to type or just talk through the microphone. So for me, I'll talk through the microphone and try this bot out. Let's start. So thank you for trusting me to walk with you on this journey. Let's take things done one step at a time. There's no rush. I'm here to listen and support you. To begin, let's check on how you've been feeling recently. I'll ask a few gentle questions based on common symptoms of depression. Please answer as honestly as you feel comfortable. There are no right or wrong answers, just what feels true for you. Here's the first question. Have you been feeling sad, down, or empty most of the day, nearly every day for the past 2 weeks? Take your time. I'm here when you're ready to respond. So let's just simulate a situation where I am really close to depression and very sad. And actually, I have had one of these before. I had very high expectations of myself, maybe in the examinations before going to university. And but I had so low reception of myself. I think I was not able to do that properly, and there wasn't much time left. And I thought that my life was going to be doomed. So let's continue this thought. So let's record the answer. Yes, I was feeling very down almost every day and felt unable to help myself. And I don't think I could do well in the university examinations, which was called DSE. And I think my life is doomed. Doomed. Okay. Thanks for sharing that with me. It takes a lot of courage to open up, and I want you to know that your feelings are valid. It sounds like you have been carrying a very heavy weight, and I'm so sorry you're feeling this way. Feeling down nearly every day and struggling with self-doubt can be incredibly overwhelming, especially when you're facing something as big as university exams like DSE. Actually, it's okay to feel things like too much right now. I want you to know that having these thoughts doesn't mean your life is doomed. You're not alone in this, and there are steps we can take together to help you feel more in control and supported. Let's take it step at a time. Here's my next gentle question. Have you found that activities and hobbies you usually enjoy don't feel the same anymore? Maybe things feel less exciting or harder to engage with? So I will respond with my real experiences back in that time. Yes, they mostly were there to numb my emotions, and I can't enjoy them anymore. I usually just overindulge myself in those activities, which was gaming for me, and the experience was not feeling anything. and there was a overall negative tone in my emotions. Thank you for sharing that with me. It sounds like gaming something that might have once been enjoyable or even a way to escape and started to feel empty or even negative. That can be really tough. Like it's like the things that used to bring you relief or joy just aren't working the same way anymore. I want you to know that this is a common experience when someone is feeling down or overwhelmed. You're not alone in this. It also sounds like emotions have been really heavy lately, and maybe even numbing them feels easier sometimes. That's okay. It's a sign that your mind and body are trying to cope with what feels like too much. But the fact that you're here talking about this shows incredible strength. Let's keep going gently so I can understand more and support you better. Have you noticed any changes in your energy levels? For example, do you feel more tired or drained than usual, even if you're sleeping enough? Or maybe it's hard to find the energy to get started with things. So I'll answer with my experience as well. I'll just omit this if I receive more questions. Yes, I have very low energy levels. I feel tired and drained most of the time. I'm not getting enough sleep because I have to work through my homework while spending a lot of time on my games, which was LOL at that time. Or I had trouble in starting new habits or cutting the current habits in my life. And I just can't gather enough energy to start revising. And I felt left behind. Thank you for opening up and sharing this with me. It sounds like you've been running on empty for a while now, juggling so many things, homework, gaming, and the overwhelming weight of trying to make changes. I can imagine how exhausting that must feel, especially when energy is already so low. It's really hard to break out of a cycle like this when everything feels like too much. Struggling to start new habits or shift away from existing ones isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're under a lot of mental and emotional pressure. The fact that you're even reflecting on this and wanting change tells me that you're stronger than you might feel right now. Wow, this spot is so good. Let's explore a little more so I can better understand how this is affecting you. Have you noticed changes in your sleep or appetite? For example, are you sleeping too much or too little? Or have you noticed eating more or less than usual? I don't think I had change in appetite of sleep. I just slept maybe too little because I have to go to school every day, come back home. Then I started gaming for a few hours. Then I do the homework maybe very late at night. So they're generally deprived of sleep. I don't recognize the change in appetite. Thank you for sharing that with me. It sounds like your schedule has been incredibly demanding with school, homework, and gaming takes up so much time of your time and leaving very little room for rest. It's no wonder you've been feeling drained and low on energy. Sleep is such an important part of how we recharge, both physically and emotionally. Even though you haven't noticed changes in your appetite, the lack of sleep alone can have a big impact on how we feel. When we're not getting enough rest, it can make everything our emotions, energy, and focus feel so much harder to manage. The fact that you're juggling all of this and still showing up here is really admirable. Let's keep going gently. Have you been feeling guilty or like you're letting yourself or others down? Maybe thoughts like I'm not doing enough or I'm failing. These feelings can sometimes be part of what you're experiencing. Okay, I'll respond. Yes, I feel guilty. I think I'm letting myself and my mother down because she paid for a lot of the tuition in the tutorial schools after the lessons at school. I think this take up a large part of her income, and I'm not seeing the future brightly. I think many people are doing way better than me and very disciplined, and I think my classmates all do better than me. I just recognize that I have to change to revise more and come up with better strategies to spend more time on revision, but I'm failing myself and my mother. Thank you for sharing that so honestly. It takes a lot of courage to express these feelings. I can see how much you care about your future and how deeply you value your mother's sacrifices. Feeling like you're letting her down must be such a heavy burden. But I want to remind you of something very important. You're doing the best you can with the resources and energy you have right now. It's so easy to compare yourself. Oof, this part is good at providing emotional value. Compare yourself to others, especially classmates who seem more disciplined or ahead, but that comparison can make things feel even harder. What you're going through right now, the low energy, the overwhelming emotions, and the guilt, is not a sign of failure. It's a sign that you have been carrying too much on your own, and it's okay to need help or a new approach. The fact that you have recognized the need to change and are thinking about strategies for revision shows just how much you care about your future and your mom's efforts. This a huge first step, and I'm here to help you explore ways to make those changes feel possible and manageable. Let's take it one step at a time. Here's a general question to reflect on. Have you been feeling hopeless about the future, like things won't get better even if you try to make changes, or do you feel like there's still a bit of hope that things could improve? Yeah. Yeah, I have been generally feeling this hopeless for me. I might not get into university, which I generally thought at that time. And at that time, I didn't think there were other options for going to university. And I think I have failed at life. I think if I can gather the energy and the hope to change, then there might still a bit of hope, but I'm not seeing that right now. Thanks for sharing that with me. It sounds like you've been feeling trapped in a cycle of hopelessness where the weight of everything makes it hard to even see a way forward. I want to acknowledge how hard that must be for you to feel like your dreams are slipping away and like the efforts you want to make are out of reach right now. That is such a heavy thing to carry, and I'm so sorry you're feeling this way. But I also want to reflect something back to you. In the middle of all this pain, you just said something really important. You said that if you could find energy and hope to change, there might still be a bit of hope. That tiny spark, even if it feels faint or far away, is something we can work with. It tells me that deep down you still care, you still want to find a way forward, even if it feels impossible right now. And that's such a powerful thing to hold on to. I want you to know that you are not a failure at life, even if it feels that way. Right now, you're struggling with a lot exhaustion, guilt, and self doubt, but that doesn't mean you're incapable of change or that your future is closed off. It means you've been trying to do so much with very little energy, and that's not your fault. You're human, and it's okay to need support. Okay, this is the question. Would you like me to guide you through some tools to help with the feelings of hopelessness, or would you prefer we focus on practical steps you can take to feel a little more in control of your studies and schedule? Both are important, and we can focus on whatever feels more helpful for you right now. I'm here to walk this path with you. I need both. Thank you for sharing that. You're showing so much strength by asking for help with both your emotions and practical steps. Let's take it one step at a time so it doesn't feel overwhelming. We'll start by addressing the feelings of hopelessness and then work on practical strategies to help you feel more in control. Together, we'll create a plan to help you move forward, easing the feelings of hopelessness. Hopelessness can feel like a fog. It makes everything seem impossible. But with small, consistent steps, we can start to lift that fog. Here are a few tools we can try together. Challenge hopeless thoughts, CBT style. Let's gently examine one of the thoughts fueling your hopelessness. For example, I failed at life or I won't get into university. Can we reframe this thought? Here's how. Ask yourself, is this thought based on facts or is it tied on how overwhelmed you feel right now? For example, not getting into one joined university doesn't mean you've failed at life. It means you might need a different path, and that's okay. Reframe it. Instead of I failed, try I'm struggling right now, but I'm still learning how to move forward. Would you like to try reframing a specific thought together? Okay, this is the first one. So second one is find one small source of hope. When everything feels hopeless, even the smallest glimmer of hope can make a difference. Let's focus on one thing. Is there something even small that you care about in the future? For example, a subject you love, a career dream, or even making your mom proud. Holding on to what that one thing can help you remember why you're pushing forward even on hard days. Okay, there are actually some things I want to ask this spot first. So I'll ask it here. How severe is my depression? And I'll answer its questions. Sure, let's reframe a specific thought together. One small source of hope, subject I love. So I love gaming actually. I don't have a career dream. I really want to make my mom proud. Okay, so let's go to the third one. Mindfulness exercise to ground you. Let's try a quick exercise to help ease overwhelming emotions. Sit comfortably, take a deep breath in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds, then exhale slowly for 6 seconds. So this is basically the box breathing approach. Okay, let's try this. It seems a little bit calmer and little bit of stress disappeared. As you breathe, notice what's around you. What do you see, hear, or feel? This can help you bring back to the present moment when hopelessness thoughts take over. So this is the mindfulness approach. Okay, so I have tried both of them. I felt a little bit less stressed. Okay. And practical strategies for studies and schedule. Feeling behind in your studies can cause so much stress, but small manageable steps can help you rebuild confidence and focus. Let's try these. Break down revision into tiny steps. Instead of thinking I need to revise everything, let's break it down. Write a list of the most important topics or subjects to cover. Choose just one small task per day to focus on. For example, revise one topic of math for 20 minutes, even 20 minutes is a progress. Use timers like the Pomodoro technique, study for 25 minutes, then take on a 5-minute break. This keeps things manageable. Would you help creating a simple revision schedule? Oh, it's okay. So here's a helpful thing to do together. So I actually tried the Pomodoro technique back then, and damn, I just wasn't very disciplined to in those minutes. I made the break so long, and I made the study only for 25 minutes instead of the cycles going through again. So I guess that's just discipline, but you can still find help with this AI if you are not that disciplined. It will try to help you. So limit gaming without cutting it completely. Gaming might have been your escape, but it's okay to still enjoy it, just with balance. Here's how. Set a timer before gaming and commits to stopping once the timer rings. Start small, like reducing gaming by 30 minutes. Use the extra time for revision or self-care. For example, after 1 hour of gaming, I spent 30 minutes revising, which help setting boundaries with gaming. Also, definitely this is was one measure that was taken by some of my classmates. So I actually played L with some classmates before, and they usually played for 1 or 2 games, then they'll go revising for maybe a few hours. And I think it also takes discipline to do so, and I couldn't stop playing games even after 5 to 6 hours back then. So there should be a hard stop. Maybe after 2 games, then I should start revising. And you can find help with this AI as well. So create a daily routine with rest. Having a routine can help you feel more in control. Here's a simple one. Morning, focus on school and small tasks. Get one thing done, like reviewing notes during breaks. Evening, set specific times for gaming, homework, and sleep. Gaming from 6 to 7 p.m., homework from 7:30 to 9 p.m., and sleep by 10:30 p.m. Does this feel manageable, or would you help personalizing it so uh, the homework can't be done within these short hours? So you can go back and forth with this AI to find out the schedule that work with you. Combining emotional and practical support. You're already taking a huge step in by asking for help. Here's what I recommend. Let's try a tool for hopelessness, like reframing thoughts on mindfulness. Then we'll create a small achievable study plan for the next day or week. How does that sound? I'm here with you every step of the way. So I think the major difference now as compared to my past that we have such a good tool here to help us be more disciplined and help with our emotions. It wasn't present back then when I was studying for the university exams. So let's send this out to see how it responds. Thank you for sharing so openly. I can tell you're really reflecting deeply on what you're feeling and working so hard to make sense of it all. That's such an important step in moving forward, and I'm so proud of you for trying to the tools we talked about. The fact that you already feel a little less stressed is a small but meaningful win. Let's keep building on that together. How severe is my depression? Based on what you've shared so far, low energy, difficult starting new habits, feeling of guilt, hopelessness, and feeling like you're letting your mom down. It sounds like you're experiencing moderate to what the hell. Okay, so let's face it. Moderate to possibly severe symptoms of depression. These symptoms are significant because they're affecting your daily life, like your ability to focus on school, maintain balance with gaming. Actually, I also watched animations to escape from revising or feel hopeful about the future. However, I remember that I'm a virtual assistant and not a licensed professional, so I can't provide a formal diagnosis. What I can do is help you recognize these patterns and support you in taking steps toward feeling better. If these feelings persist or worsen, I strongly recommend reaching out to a therapist, school counselor, or doctor. They can provide the professional care you deserve. Reframing a specific thoughts together. Let's work on reframing what one of the thoughts that's been weighing you down. You mentioned wanting to make your mom proud and struggling with guilt because you feel like you're not doing enough. That's such a heavy thought to carry, so let's gently unpack it. Here's a possible thoughts we can frame. Original thought. I am letting my mom down because she sacrifices so much for my tuition and I'm failing. Is this thought based on facts or emotions? Ask yourself, is this there solid evidence that you are failing? Or is this thought tied to how overwhelmed and tired you are feeling right now? For example, you're still going to school, doing homework even if it's late, and reflecting on how to improve. That's not failing, it's effort under, oh, okay, tough circumstances. So let's respond to this. Actually, I think I'm failing because I'm at the lower portions of my class at the previous exams and tests. And I think I might not be able to go to the university. I think this is the evidence that I am failing. Okay. So just shift enter. Okay. Let's step towards a more balanced perspective. Instead of I'm letting my mom down, try this. I'm struggling right now, but I care deeply about my mom and want to make her proud. I am learning how to manage my time and energy, and I'm taking small steps to improve. My mom loves me for who I am, not just my achievements. She'd want me to take care of myself too. Certainly, I have talked to her about this as well. And be sure to reach to your friends or family if they are supportive. Okay, so let's see how I can respond to this. I'm struggling right now. Definitely manage my time. And how does this reframe feel? Does this feel kinder or more realistic, or is there another way you'd like to reframe this thought? Reframing is partially true, and I definitely see some support from my mom as well. Okay, Reflecting on what you love, I noticed you said you love gaming and that you don't have a clear career dream yet, but making your mom proud is really motivating to you. That's such a beautiful and powerful reason to keep moving forward. It's okay not to have a career dream right now, that you're still exploring who you are and what excites you. Would you like to talk more about how gaming might connect to a future career? Game design, streaming, sports, explore other areas of interest that could inspire you. I don't really have other areas of interest, and I'm not thinking that my gaming can lead me to a future career. I am also interested in watching animations from Japan. Next steps, it sounds like you're already making small progress by trying mindfulness and reframing thoughts. Here's what I recommend next. Let's finish reframing the thoughts we're working on now. Does the reframe feel helpful or should we ingest it together? Then we can create a small achievable goal for the day or week. This could be about school, gaming, balance, or self-care. How does that sound? I'm here to guide you through it. So let's stand in this still. Thank you for sharing that. I can sense how much these feelings of failure are tied to your academic performance, and it makes perfect sense that being in the lower portion of your class could feel discouraging, especially when you care so much about making your mom proud and securing your future. It's really hard to feel like you're giving your all and still not seeing the results you hoped for. I want to gently remind you, though, that your grades right now don't define your worth or your potential. Okay, let's work together to reframe this more fully while also acknowledging the very real challenges you're facing. You're showing incredible self awareness by reflecting on this is such an important step forward. Reframing the thought I'm failing because I'm in the lower portion of my class. Acknowledge the evidence without judgment. Yes, your grades aren't where you want them to be right now, and that's tough. But being in the lower portion of your class doesn't mean you're failing as a person or that you're incapable of improving. Academic performance can be influenced by so many factors: stress, energy levels, time management, or study strategies. These are things we can work on together. Definitely. Shift the focus to effort and growth. Instead of I'm failing, try reframing it as my grades aren't where I want them to be yet, but I'm starting to make changes to improve definitely. Being in the lower portion of my class doesn't mean I'm failing, it means I have room to go. Yes, and I am capable of yeah, I am capable of learning better strategies with time and effort. Yes, connects to a supportive perspective. Remember your mom's love and pride in you aren't solely tied to your grades. She values your efforts and your hearts. Yes, I think so. I'm more balanced about thoughts with might be. I am not defined by one test or one semester. Actually, I thought of giving up many times during that period. Uh, I wanted to give up in April when the examinations were in maybe June or July, I think. I forgotten what time DSE was in. So it was my mother who persuaded me in continuing my revision, or actually I wouldn't have been able to take the DSE as as how I previously did it. I'm not defined by one test or one semester. So I think PT can also help persuade me to continue with my studies if I had PT back then. I'm not defined by one test or one semester. My mom believes in me and I can take small steps to improve even if it takes time. Sure, sure. Does this refrain feel more realistic and supportive? Let me know if something feels off and we can adjust it together. Yes, I think what you reframe is true. Exploring your interest, gaming, and animation. I'm so glad you shared that you enjoy Japanese animation. That's a wonderful interest, and it shows that you have creative and visual passions. While it's okay if I am also wanting to go into the pre-note demand for the Japanese animation goods. While it's okay if gaming doesn't feel like a career path for you, both gaming and animation can connect to areas you must explore in the future. Here are some ideas to think about. Animation and storytelling. Have you ever thought about what you love most about animation? Is it the art, the stories, or the characters? If this excites you, then There might be careers in areas like animation design, storyboarding, and script writing, voice acting. I think I like the stories and the characters and also the art. So let's correct this. Creative gaming interest, even if gaming isn't a career goal, it can still teach things, skills like focus, problem solving, and creativity. For example, designing your own game ideas, even just for fun. Oh, I don't think I can do that. Exploring how games and animations overlap in storytelling. Not sure about that. No pressure to decide now. It's okay not to know exactly what your career path is yet. This time in your life is about discovery. You're allowed to explore things you enjoy without needing to have it all figured out. Would you like to talk more about how you could explore this interest, even just for fun, or we can focus on study strategies if this feels more pressing? Exploring interests and study strategies do. So shift enter again. Next steps, building hope and structure. Here's what I suggest we focus on next. Set one small academic goal. Let's start with something manageable, like I review one topic for 20 minutes a day. Yes, but one topic lasts for maybe 15 minutes instead. I create a simple revision plan for this week. This could also do. And with with the hindsight from one of the highly scoring people in the SE, the university entrance exam, actually they still create revision plans for the week. They see if they can achieve those goals and time every day. Then they revise on again on the next day, and they strictly stick to the resting time and the revision time. And when it is time's up, then they just put down the revision task and then continue again later with in the set task. So I think with the help of GPT, it is now easier than ever to create a revision plan that is dynamic and adjustable to your lifestyle. And definitely you can also ask GPT to create you late memory techniques and mixing up different subjects so that you use your left brain and your right brain alternatively and give some time for each brain to rest, like maths, then language, then science, then other things. So this can help you have a more disciplined the time, especially in the day of a few months. The study break is very important. I just gamed every day in the study break, almost. Self-care through your interests. It's important to balance work with things that bring you joy. For example, set aside 30 minutes to watch an animation you enjoy or play a game guilt-free. Definitely use this time as a reward for completing a small study task. Reach out for additional support. Since you're feeling this weight so heavily, I encourage you to consider talking to a school counselor or a trusted teacher, which I obviously did not have a trusted teacher. Damn. They can help you with academic strategies and emotional support. If that feels scary, I after graduation, I still don't know who the school counselor is. I can help you think of what to say. How does this sound? Would you like to focus on creating a study plan or explore more ways to balance work and self-care? I believe in you, and I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Okay, so I think I said this. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so glad that the reframe resonated with you. It's a big step to recognize that your current struggles don't define your future and that you're capable of growth. You've already shown so much courage and self awareness, and I'm here to help you explore your interests while also finding ways to approach your studies more effectively. Let's take this step by step and focus on both exploring your interests and creating simple study strategies to help you feel more in control. Exploring your interest in stories, characters, and art. It sounds like you're drawn to the creativity and depth in animation, and that's such a wonderful interest to have. Even if you're not sure how it connects to your future yet, nurturing this passion can bring joy and even inspire new ideas. Here are some ways to explore this interest further. Create for fun, sketching or drawing characters. I don't think I would do that. Have you ever considered drawing your favorite characters or even creating your own? You don't have to be perfect, but you now have GPT to draw for you, so I guess I'll still do it. Art is about expressing yourself with it, writing stories. If you love the storytelling aspect, try writing short stories or scripts inspired by animations to enjoy. You could even write fan fiction if that feels fun. So I think I have written some before. learn about animation. If you're curious about how animation is made, you could explore free resources online, YouTube tutorials. Wow, this is time consuming. Look up how animations are created from 2D art to 3D modeling. Free software programs like Krita for digital art or Blender for 3D animation can be fun places to experiment. Even just watching others create can be inspiring. Actually, I think there are also people that had be more severe symptoms than mine in the past. So sure to continuously talk to this AI and also find licensed medical professionals if it is really getting worse and you can't control it. Connect to career ideas. No pressure. If this passion grows, you might explore careers like animations, design or illustration, storyboarding or creative writing for animations, character design or concept art. For now, just enjoy the process of exploring. It's more about what brings you joy and figuring out everything out right away. So would you like help finding beginner resources or ideas to start exploring this? It's good that it recommend this exploration. Study strategies to help you feel more in control. Now, let's focus on your studies so you can take small, manageable steps toward improvement without feeling overwhelmed. Here's a plan we can try. Start small, one task at a time. It's easy to feel paralyzed by everything you need to do, so let's break it down into tiny steps. For example, choose one subject to focus on today. Pick one small task for that subject, like reviewing a single topic, solving 5 practice questions, or summarizing notes. Yes, I think small wins can encourage me to go on. Use a simple study schedule. Use a sample of routine that balances work and rest. Sometimes set a timer for 25 minutes Pomodoro technique. Focus on one task, then take a 5-minute break. Rest or reward. After completing 2 to 3 sessions, take a longer break. Watch part of an animation or play a game for 30 minutes as you can really watch 1 or 2 animations if you set it at 1.5x speed, which I usually do now. And you can also let GPT to help set you your task in revision or doing homework, and also set you the rewards so you don't have to think yourself, which was a pain in the past where I tried to think of the rewards, and nothing seemed appealing to me enough. Would you like help creating a schedule for this week? I can suggest specific times for study and rest. Focus on revision techniques. If you're finding it hard to retain information, here are some strategies. Summarize notes, write down key points in your own words. Some of the classmates who became doctor and studied for doctor, the medical doctor, medical practitioner, I think. How to say that? The Western doctors. They also summarized the points in their own notes by handwriting, and it took a long time for them to do so, but I think it was effective for them, which I didn't do back then. Quiz yourself, test your knowledge by answering questions without looking at your notes. And this, I think, you can also ask GPT to create this for you. You don't have to create this yourself. I think GPT is a huge send for the students right now. Teach someone else. Pretend you're teaching this topic to someone. It helps to match as this is called the, I think, Feynman technique, which is effective as shown in the studies, but I rarely tried it because many people advice from me for their academic studies. Of these strategies feel most doable for you, we can start with just one definitely. Combine interests with study. If you like, we can try blending your interests with your studies, draw or visualize concepts. Did this all the time, and it's really helped me a lot to remember those because you're using both of your brains to remember the information, and it creates a story-like for you to remember those. For job subjects like history or science, sketch key concepts or create visual notes, definitely. Storytelling for memorizations, turn what you're studying into a story or imagine the characters in animation learning. And I think this is how can be more effectively done by the help of GPT as you just input the concepts or the points. Maybe you can just take a photo, then send it to GPT, and it will turn the concepts into a story that you can memorize. And it is done within seconds. So I think writing and studying now takes a lot less effort than back then because I couldn't have this can make studying feel a little more engaged, definitely. Next steps, here's what I suggest for today. Choose one small study task, review a topic for 20 to 25 minutes, take a break to enjoy something creative like sketching or watching part of animation. Let me know how it went so we can adjust the plan together. Would you like me to help you pick a study task or suggest resources for exploring animation or art? I'm here to support you every step of the way. So I think sport does not only help you in studies, and if you have other problems that you encounter in life, like marriage, relationship, or relationship with family and friends, and it could also possibly help you out by talking to it. I think the best part of this bot is that it's confidential, and so that if someone you don't want them to know about your situation, then you don't have to. You can just talk privately with this bot, and I think the options and suggestions it provides is really very helpful. And you can also refine your strategies and solutions with it to go. And I know that this might take decent points on PoE, but I think the PoE subscription is very cheap compared to other subscriptions. It is cheaper than the ChatGPT Plus, which is at around $20 per month USD. And this can also run many models and generate images and videos if you like. So I think if you want to use PT or other bots more, then you might considering subscribing on PoE as well. So hope this have helped you, and please try this out. To access these bots, I have forgotten to mention that you go to poe.com and just find this word MoodMend and find this logo. You click on it, then you can see the instructions and talk with it. So hope that you can have a nice day, and thanks for listening.